These are multi-negs. These are when I started to combine 2 or 3 different negatives. So the foreground and the sky are actually 2 negatives that are kind of sewn together. Jerry Uelsman type ideas, except kind of my concept was maybe a little more graphic than his. I wasn't quite so involved in metaphor and, as I am now, and just using objects as symbols. It was more about creating or distilling a different type of emotion out of the work. This is a frozen lake in the wintertime, and then the whole top of the picture kind of goes up about, I don't know, 10, 12 inches, and it's just black, so it looks a little bit more like a lunar scape. That's just a sea at night. During the day, though. This is a combination of 3 negatives, so it's the foreground, middle ground, and the sky come from 3 different parts of the country, and it's based on a series that I did in the late 90s, and it's called, I think I called them Pilgrim's View. They're 16 by 20, they're not large. And this is when I started to incorporate photograms into, so this mountain range is just, it's put in there with shapes of rocks. So I'm taking a normal kind of seascape foreground, a separate sky background, and then just bisecting it. This is called I Can See Right Through You. These are photograms that I did. This is a show in Rhode Island. These are about half this size. They're about, I don't know, 20 by 38 inches. And I started to take photographic paper out into the woods at night. So very similar to that first Bear Mountain series where I was just taking the paper out, taping it to a cardboard, and then holding it against a tree and then flashing it with a flash. So this is when I would take the photogram and then go back in the darkroom and start to put texture back into the piece itself. So I'm taking an actual negative of tree bark and reprinting it back into the piece. These are not large, they're 16 by 20 inches.